Hi everyone, it's Saturday and it's snowing. Yes, we're going backward here. We had a couple of days of springtime and all of a sudden we're slumped back into the winter time in just a space of 24 hours. But there you go, that's the UK for you. We're used to that and we'll just keep going. Doesn't matter what happens out there, we're still moving, we're still doing what we need to do to keep surviving. Right, today I wanted to talk to you about something that I've been aware of for a while, but I hadn't really given a huge amount of thought, and it's became obvious yesterday when I got my post, and that is my retirement plans. So as many of you know, I've spent 10 years working in financial services in good old corporate England, doing the job, you know, like everybody else, 9 to 5, you know, putting money into a pension plan like everybody else does, and then spend the next 10 years being self-employed as a personal trainer and still putting money into my own little pension plan because that's what you do, you know, with your money. That's what you're told to do, to save for your retirement. So yesterday I had a statement from one of the 3 pension plans I have. You haven't got one, I don't do things in halves, I've got 3. Of course, as you know, those of you who work for employers, you know that every employer they've got their own pension plan, or at least access to a pension plan these days. Don't bother contributing for you anymore, but every employer will have their own pension plan, so you end up accumulating, if you've got more than one employer, different pension plans. So I had a statement yesterday from this was particularly for my stakeholder pension, which is the pension plan I put in place myself when I became self-employed, obviously not having the employers. And I was shocked. Now I know that pensions are investment, yeah, so there are no guarantees of anything, but you know, when you put in money month in, month out, you expect, you know, ideally to at least break even, you know, not expecting to make money on that because God forbid, you know, it'd be too good to be true, but at least break even. So of course the statement I got yesterday told me that all my hard earned money, specifically on my stakeholder pension plan, basically not only wasn't going to give me the pension that I needed, which is given these days, but actually I'm losing money on that basically. So that really made me think, and I went back to have a look at all the other pension plan from the other employers to see what was going on, and I put all my figures together, and this is just to illustrate what happens when we just follow what everybody does without actually thinking whether that is going to bring about the results that we're looking for our own retirement, you know. And I've got some figures here to share with you just to illustrate the point I'm trying to make. So I have 2 different pension plans frozen, which are from my employer when I was in financial services. The value of them combined at the moment is £8,923. Yeah. I paid for 10 years into these pension plans. My contributions for the 10 years, which was 3% of my salary at the time, amounted to about just under £10,400. So I'm already out by over £1,000. Yeah, I've lost myself. Money put in is actually gone, you know, £1,500 plus is gone. What's worse is that in the days when I was in financial services, I was lucky enough to have employers who would match my contributions to the pension plan. So I paid 3% from my salary, they'll pay 3%. So really 6% went into these plans. So actually, the amount that went into these plans, the employer ones, was not just 10,500 with what I contributed, was double that, so 21,000. Now these pension plans today are worth £8,923. So that's over £12,000 loss in 10 years. You know, if that wasn't bad enough, yeah, which is, you know, nobody goes into investment looking to make a loss, you know, but this is money that was taken away from my wages, you know, and there wasn't an option not to do that. It was just a thing that was done, yeah, because the government says you have to save, you know, money, because of course we know that the state pension is not going to be there by the time you now retire, because it depends on people working today. Population is getting older, there'll be less people working, hence you'll get nothing. But even if you're lucky enough to get some state pension today is just about £4,000 a year. Well, can you live on that? I don't, I can't. Don't know about you, but it won't be there anyway by the time we now retire. There won't be enough people pay for that. So back to my employer's pension. So not only the pension plan itself has made a loss over 10 years of £12,000. Yeah. But if you look at it, so the value it's got now, which is £8,923, that's the value of it now. Yeah, so that is what I would get now if I drew the money now. The reality is that £8,923 is supposed to last me for, assuming I retire at age 65 like most people do. Women tend to live a little bit longer than men, so this day average for a woman is about 84, 85 years. So they're going to have 20 years to survive on £8,923. Really? It's ridiculous. You made a loss of all the money you put in, well, most of the money you put in, and then not only that, but it lands you in poverty, because I can survive for another 20 years on £8,900 total. Yeah, not a year, total. Yeah. So my stakeholder pension, which is the one I put in place myself for when I became self-employed, and I pay contributions every month to that. So same story. So different plan altogether, different investment, different funds, not controlled or set by employers. That I actually got financial advice for this particular plan, which one the best plan based on my attitude to risk, as financial advisors do and everything. So I paid in over the last 10 years. I paid in just short of £6,000, and is now worth not even 2,500. Yes. Another £3,500 loss. Great, doing well so far with the pensions, and of course that's going to give me less than £2,500 total value for another 20 years. Great. So at the moment I'm doing, about 11,000 to fund my life in retirement for 20 years. Yeah. So it's not going to happen. That is poverty. Yeah. What's the other option? So if pension plans are not performing at the moment, and to be honest with you, they're investments. Yeah. So you need to understand that while the employers, if you're employed, the employer will provide you access to a pension plan if it's depending on what position you hold. So if you're higher up in the level, so your management position, director position, then you get, of course, better benefits. So the employer may match what you're paying. But the reality is, it is a pension plan. It's an investment. You got no control over it. So if you're planning to retire age 60, 65, and you're planning to maintain your level of lifestyle now, ask yourself, how much do you pay a month for what you do today, for the things you want to do? So how much your monthly commitment? Yeah. So are you going to be able to have paid off your mortgage completely before you retire? One hopes so, but I know from personal experience, when I was a financial advisor, a lot of people were borrowing far more than they could afford. They were putting them on interest-only mortgages, and guess what? Interest-only mortgage, that means you aren't paying the capital at all. So come the end of a mortgage, you're going to have to sell that property to pay off a lender because you haven't paid any capital. Yeah. So if you've got capital repayment mortgage, so you're paying the capital and you're lucky enough to be paying enough, and then age 65 you retire and the mortgage paid off, great, but you still got bills to pay, you still got food to buy, you still got car to run, you still got to live. Yeah. So even if you take the mortgage out, what are your monthly commitment going to be? Now, it's very unlikely, unless you had a very good pension plan that's performing what it should be performing or outperforming, and you paid in all the maximum contribution you can pay, and the employer matched those contributions, then is maybe you may have enough just to survive. Yeah, maybe. That's very unlikely, because the reality is most people that put money in the pension plans, they put the bare minimum, because they want to keep the money for themselves. Yeah, which is fair enough, because you got to get to the end of the month and pay today's bill before you start worrying about the bills after you're 65. So pension plans those are things you got to think. Will they provide you with just enough to live on when you retire, let alone if you want to enjoy your life, or God forbid, you want to enjoy after working for, you know, for 50 years, you want to enjoy your life a little bit, you know, so that perhaps not. Am I saying that you shouldn't have a pension plan? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, just think whether you, that is the best way to use your money. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. The other option is, which I tried myself, was investment properties. You know, people say, okay, pension plans are not going to perform well, I'm going to invest in the property market. Great. Okay, so let me give you my experience of investment property. When I was a financial services, of course, financial advisor, I got access to estate agents, talking about when dealing with mortgages for clients and everything. And at the time, investment properties were all the rage. And I got myself some good deals, you know, and I used to have, hi Elizabeth, happy Saturday, and I used to have 3 buy-to-let properties. One of them used to be my old flat where I used to live before I moved down. Instead of selling it, so rent it out, you know, keep it, it's going to grow in value, it's worth having it. And I bought 2 more buy-to-let properties. Right, I was very aware of the areas where they were and the kind of tenants I wanted. And because I didn't have time to deal with tenants myself, then I employed the services of letting agents. That's what most people, most landlords do. They haven't got time to manage the tenants, especially if you've got multiple properties. So, letting agents, find the tenants, obviously reference them, get the rental paid and everything. Well, let me just tell you, in the years I had this buy-to-let property, although I had very good deals when I bought them, I ended up years later with one flat was burned down. You know, my tenants decided, well, his wife, bless him, made a mistake in the kitchen, left the thing on, and the kitchen caught fire, destroyed half of my flat, and I had to pay for that myself because the tenants didn't pay for that. Another one I had, the tenants was wishy-washy, paying 1 month, not paying the next one, so it was constant chasing, you know, and of course, all along you got to pay the mortgage yourself. And the third one ended up costing me £10,000. Yeah, so tenants were there, they were professional scammers. Yeah, estate agent did the referencing, didn't realize these were scammers. They moved in, they didn't pay a single month rent, and it was only after 3 months that the estate agent realized, oh, that something's not right here, you know, because they promised to pay all the time. Unfortunately, in the UK, the law is in the favor of tenants. Yeah, so if you got dodgy tenants like that, as a landlord, you are screwed. It took 6 months to get court date to get the eviction for these people. When you get the court date, then they, of course, they didn't turn up because these were scammers. So the court ruled in my favor. So rent not paid, therefore you get you're going to get them out. However, then I had to apply to bailiff, because you can't just turn up and, you know, you give it 2 weeks notice, because God forbid you've had 6 months there not paying anything, but the court still gives them 2 weeks notice to move out. And then I had to apply for bailiffs. So more court fees. Get the bailiffs, we had to turn up with the police, because I wasn't quite sure about, you know, how dodgy these tenants were. And basically, by the time we went through the whole process, it was another 3 months. And we turned up with the police. I opened the door, and the tenants had trashed my flat. Completely trashed, just out of spite, as nastiness. They didn't pay a single penny in rent. So the bottom line of all my buy-to-let properties was 10 grand loss. After years, and not to mention the headaches, the stress of going for court cases and everything. So, is everybody going to have the same experience? Of course not. There's lots of property investors out there, they're doing very well. But these property investors, they got the money. Yeah, so have you got £50,000 spare, you know, to throw into as deposit for a property? Have you got the time to, you know, to keep an eye on the property, you know? And in addition to that is the whole property market, the whole idea is that you invest in property because property then will go up in value, and then you make your returns. Yeah. 2 things you got to realize about property investments. Number one, market is a gamble. It's just like investment. There are no guarantees. Depends on the economy. The economy is crap at the moment. People may read on the right, left and center. Brexit is going to have a massive impact on property market. So you got property now, they already talks about them dropping down. Estate agents are struggling because people are not using estate agents anymore. They're going online and doing things themselves to try to save money. So it's Are you gonna make lots of money? Unlikely. Yeah, depending on how long you're gonna be able to hold on to your property. If you get dodgy tenants like me, you're gonna have to pay the mortgage yourself and still not get paid the rent. You know, so there again, you got more problems there. And of course, you got high deposit you got to find. So it's, you know, there's lots of ifs, lots of buts, but again, it's not a stable market, and it's totally dependent on what the market does. There's no control. You got no control. So pensions, likelihood they're not going to give you what you want for your retirement, and you know, at best probably going to end up in poverty. Yeah. Buy-to-let property, unstable. You got lots of cost involved in getting a buy-to-let property, lots of cost in managing the buy-to-let property with estate agent fees, letting agent fees, I should say, and the UK law that goes totally against you as a landlord. So you've been hit from all sides. So good luck on that one. So what do you do? You know, how do you retire and know you're going to have enough money to, you know, to retire in peace? So, you know, after working 30, 40, 50 years, you just want to say enough. You know, want to chill now, enjoy my life, enjoy my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, how many you got, you know, and travel, whatever you want to do. Yeah. Right. There is a third option. Okay, and this is the route I'm going down, and I'm not saying that that's the right route for everyone, because it involves a lot of work as well on your part, because at the end of the day, you're not going to get results unless you're prepared to put in some good old graft, yeah, hard graft. So the route I'm going through is taking charge of my retirement. So I'm going to decide how much I'm going to earn, you know, for my retirement, rather than letting investments, pensions, or property market decide whether I'm going to have enough for my retirement. So how I'm doing that, right? Just think about one of the biggest companies today, Apple. Yeah, so everybody knows Apple iPhones, you know, everything what they do, Apple Watch, you know, that kind of stuff. Now Apple went always at this level, yeah, so they had to start from very beginnings, just like every other company did. Now imagine if, when knowing what you know today about Apple, how much they're worth, you know, how many devices they sell worldwide, what the worth is, you know, on the stock markets. Imagine if, when they first started, before they introduced iPhone, you had been given the opportunity to partner up with them and earn from the products and from the company, yeah, as a business partner with very minimal investments. Knowing what you know today about Apple, would you have done it? Well, I think personally, if you know, what is Apple worth today? Billions, yeah. So if I knew I could have a small percentage of that, I'd be filthy rich now. Yeah, if I joined them as a business partner in those days when they first started, and now they've grown, the shares have, you know, gone rocketed. So now, that is the thing you got to think. So if you join them in the, you didn't have the option to join. They never gave the option to anyone to become a business partner with that. It was never. It was just, it's a standard company, just like everybody else, all the other companies. You know, they just provide services, provide products, they make the money, and that's the end of it. But if I had given you the option to become a partner and share in that expansion and in that growth, you know, and get money yourself, you know, obviously you would have to work in as a business partner, you know. Would you have done it? I know I would. Now, the thing now is that, hi Alina, hi Stefania. The thing now is that there is a company now, which is upcoming company, and this is what I'm involved with. They are, if you like, the new Apple, but a lot better. This company is called World Global Network. Yeah. They are, they've been running now for 6 years, but they've only brought the wearable technology device on the market. It's only been a year and a half and already sold 1 million devices. Yeah, this company went to the CES, which is the biggest technology event in the world. The CES, where all the greats, the Toshiba, the Apple, the Fitbit, all the greats bring out their innovation for the upcoming year. They showcase the new model, what they're coming up with, the latest technology. This company is the only company in the network marketing industry that was allowed to have a stand, embodied to have a stand. They're the biggest stands there, even beating the big company. They took the CES by storm. They had big company approaching them, the CEO, Fabio Galdia, the big company approaching them at the CES, asking to buy the technology off him, buy him off. They wanted the technology because they've seen the potential. It's the only technology available on the market that combines a wearable technology with the life sensing all into one, totally different from what you get from the Fitbit, from Apple Watch, completely different. Fabio Galdi said no, and you know why I said no? Because he has made the choice when he launched the company not to be the usual company making all the money for himself. He made the choice to give ordinary people like you and me the option to partner up with him, the option to share in the expansion, the option to share in the profit of the company. And there's loads and loads of business partners. We got 195 countries, people. We ship in 195 countries. It's a global company. It's not little tiny English thing, little English, American company. It's not. It's a global company. He could have taken the offer and he could have run away with it, and as wealthy as it is, would have been mega wealthy. No, he doesn't want that. He wants to give people opportunity to be business partner. This is something that Apple never gave us, never gave you. Now, this company now is still in its infancy. We've got the second generation of product called the Hilo, which is a wearable technology device. Is unique. What it offers, no other gadget is offering that on the market now. But this is just the second generation. Imagine what happened with iPhone. You got iPhone 4, iPhone 5, iPhone 6, with iPhone 10 now. Every year the technology increases, improves, and it brings something more. We are the same. We've actually done in 16 months, we've done 2 devices we brought to the market, not to mention the biosender blocks, the electrosmog caused by the mobile phones and all the electrical devices around us. Yeah. So we are really in at the beginning. So imagine what it will be in 5, 10, 15, 20 years time, where the wearable technology market is expected to double, to explode massively. Mobile phones, people, will not exist anymore. It's all going to be on your wrist or in your ear or in your eyes. That's where it's going. It's all going to be wearable technology. It's not going to be holding the phone and trying to connect Bluetooth everything right, left, and right. That ain't going to happen no more. So that's where the technology is going. This company is offering people the opportunity to partner up as a business. Yeah. And you'll be in charge of your business, you'll be in charge of how much you make, and you'll be in charge of what your retirement is going to look like, because it's all down to you. Yeah, it's not down to investment, it's not down to property. To give you an idea of this, how incredible this opportunity is. We had, when World Global first launched, yeah, their shares were about just a few cents a share. Yeah. Now the shares, they got up and down like most companies do, is they're above $16 a share. This in 16 months, people. The growth the company is experiencing is ridiculous, is at par, if not faster, than the growth that Apple had. And now you got the chance to partner up with these people, get in there, be part of this explosion, and be part of the profit of the income that this explosion is bringing. Yeah, not to mention that the product that they do are all to do with life sensing, so in improving your health, improving people's idea of what the health is, understanding what the health is, blocking these bad waves that you get from devices. We're surrounded by all type of devices, so exactly a good ethical company, but is your ticket to your retirement. Yeah. Another thing that I wanted to mention about this company, which is unheard of, is got a loyalty membership, people. Now, your only overhead, monthly overhead, will be, if you choose to, your loyalty membership, which is the equivalent of £33 a month, give or take, $59 a month. But what this loyalty membership does, you pay that monthly. That's your only business overhead. How many businesses can you run with just $59 a month? Hello, I run a business, run two. One is more global and one is my personal training. My personal training business, I have to spend thousands of pounds a year just to maintain all my certification, to maintain my qualification, to pay for insurances. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Yeah, $59 a month. Not only you get access to extra layers of income, residual income that is unlocked through this loyalty membership, because the company is loyal to the business partner, but want the business partner to be loyal to them as well. It's a two-way relationship. No, it's not all coming from one side. However, listen to this. You giving $59 a month, the company gives you back 75 points a month. These points, they convert it to dollars. Yeah, so put in 59, you get 75 back. You're already $16 in ahead a month. Hello, the company's paying you, $16 ahead just, to run your business, if you like. Once you got enough points, you can use all these points, say the points are converted into dollars, and you can use these dollars to buy products from the company. Yeah, so give an example. I have saved money, in my monthly membership. Yeah, so I now got I think it's about just over 500 points, which is worth $500. I can buy 10 bios and stickers, which is the chip that stops the EMF, bad radiation from mobile phones and everything. I can buy a packet of 10 with my points, so it's cost me nothing. I'm using points that the company's giving me back. I can use those to buy my Biozen. Not only that, they cost me Biozen, cost me nothing, but the company's going to give me 2 Biozen for free in addition, so I get 12. And with those 12 Biozen, I'll sell them and they retail at $50 each, and I'm making more money. Hello, it is a no-brainer, absolutely no-brainer. I'm going to be in charge of how much I make. The company is paying me to be loyal. Yeah, the company is supporting me, giving me the product that are top of the range product, only product on the market that does what is the Helo does. There is no other products. Company has been approached by 2 huge other companies in the technology industry wanting to buy the product, wanting to buy the technology, because they know this is where it's going to be. They know the money, the potential behind this company. Yeah. And you've got a chance to be a business partner in this. Yeah. If you remember what I said at the beginning, if you had the chance of being a business partner in Apple when they first started, knowing what you know today about Apple, would you have joined that? Would you have taken that step? And where would you be now, knowing how much Apple have grown? Now, World Global Network is the same, is the new Apple of the wearable technology industry. You have a chance to join, you have a chance to build your business, you have a chance to partner with an amazing company that is leading the wearable technology in the world. 195 countries, guys, people, wherever you live, you're not restricted to business partners and do business with your country. I'm Italian, I can reach Italy, I can reach Turkey if I want to, I can reach any country, because it's a global company. There are no limitations. The only limitation you have is here, is your mindset. If you think you're not worth it, you will not get it. Yeah. So that's what I want to say, guys, is this is a massive opportunity. So if you're fed up of paying money into pension plans that are letting you down and landing you in poverty by the time you retire, if you have considered investment properties, because that's what works, because investment, you make money. No, you don't. I've told you my personal experience, £10,000 loss in investment, and I was in the industry at the time. I was a mortgage advisor, I was an insider, I knew the market, I knew the tenants, I knew where to buy, and I still got, ended up with nothing, and in fact a loss. Yeah. The only way for you to guarantee you're not going to end up your retirement in poverty is to sit down, work out how much money you need every month when you retire. Are you still going to have a mortgage running? You know, are you going to have children still with you? You know, maybe you have children later. You know, these days, lots of women have children later on in life. Do you have any debts that you're still going to have to be paying? You know, so work out your monthly commitment after when you retire. If your monthly commitments are not met by your pension income, by your investment income, people, you are going to be living in property. Do not bury your head under the sand, please. You don't leave it the last minute, because you leave it to the last minute, then you're going to be left in poverty. The government, you know, the UK government very generous with benefit, but you know what? Funds run out, yeah? The population is getting older. Is the current people who work are the one that providing for today's pension. Yeah, you and I, we're paying taxes. The money we pay today is not going to be put away for when you and I retire. It's being paid today to the pensioner today. So by the time you now retire, chances are there will be no pension plan in the UK from the state. And even if there is one, I told you now how much it is, just over £4,000 a year. What is that? That's nothing. You know, you can't live, you can't even buy enough food on £4,000 a year. Yeah. And my pension plans, I told you, yeah, I made £12,000 loss on the employer pension plan, where my employer contributed 3% as well as my 3%, and my personal pension plan, the self-employed one, another £3,500 loss. Neither of them, combined value of them, will only give me, so it was a 2.5 and 9, so 11,500 pounds. That's what my pension plans are worth. I've got to make that £11,500 last for the next 20, 30 years. You know, you do the math, guys. Is not rocket science, yeah? So, am I telling you don't have pension plan? No, I'm not telling you that. I'm just telling you, do not do what everybody does. You know, it is your life. It is your retirement. I think it's time we sit down and we start thinking with our heads rather just going with emotion, doing what society tells us to do, what government tells us to. Because at the end of the day, when you retire and you find that you haven't got enough money to live, you go to the government and you know what they're going to say? We haven't got benefit for you, or we got very little benefit. So you are on poverty level. You spend all your life working, going from month to month, wage to wage, walking like a donkey, yeah? And then you retire just when it's about time for you to start enjoying life. You're actually worse off than when you were working, yeah? So that's what I want to say. Just, you know, think what you want in life, think what you want in retirement. Make sure that whatever tools or vehicles you use to get that retirement income are performing, and they're going to get you where you want to go. If they're not performing and you want to see a better option, another option, and see if that will work for you, then get in touch with me and I can explain to you in more details how the World Global Network works and what you can do. I'm looking for business partners who are serious and want to work with me and are serious about their future and making an impact, not just for themselves, for other people, because you get to help an awful lot of other people with these devices. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it is not for everyone. Yeah, it is not an easy route. You gotta work for it. Yeah, the future belongs to those who take action. Yeah, if you expect other things to happen and other people to do things for you, you are not gonna get where you want to go, and you will very likely end up like 60-70% of the population who follow you do what everybody else does and end up in retirement with very little. Yeah. I want to leave you with one final quote, which is this. We often look at life, you know, what happens to us. We always tend to concentrate on doors that shut, yeah? So you know there's a saying says, when a door shut, another one opens, right? The problem is, very often, we are on the wrong mindset. So when a door shuts, we concentrate on that door that's shut. We are so busy looking at that door that's shut that we miss the door that just opened. That's your opportunity. Today is your opportunity to think about what you want for your retirement. Sit down, work your figures, think about what is going to cost you on a monthly basis to live once you retire. Have a look at what you got in place. Have you got pension plan in place? You got buy-to-let property in place? Work out, is it going to get you where you need to be in 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years, depending how old you are, when you want to retire? And if it's not getting you where you need to be, you need to do something about it. Because if you don't, then you retire and downhill slope. Yeah. Okay, guys. So my God, it's not even harder now to get it from bed to worse here. So I hope you have a good weekend. Just wanted to share this with you because I was absolutely shocked when I got my pension statement yesterday. But I knew they were not performing. But I already put in place my future, which is World Global Network. So, but is you know, I just want to share that is, you know, it's all about mindset. When you see bad news, like in my case, I saw this the post about the, you know, my pension plan statement. That for me was, my first impression was, oh, you know, it's don't want to swear on live, you know, on Facebook, but you know what I mean, yeah. So my first impression is, for God's sake, I've been paying. Hi Judy, I've been paying, you know, years into this thing, and now they're worth nothing. But then I thought, you know, you got to look at the opportunity. That's your opportunity to sit down and think, okay, what do I need to do now to get where I want to go? Yeah, so remember that don't wait on the door that's shut. Look for the door that's opening. The door that's opening is your chance to sit down, work it all out. And if it's not working, you know now there is another option. Yeah. If you want to find out more about the option and what you can do about that, and every support that you need to help you get where you want to go, then send me a message, yeah, and I'll be more than happy to have a chat with you. I hope that you find useful regardless of what you want to do. So if you got pensions that are performing now, that's brilliant, perfect, yeah. Just keep an eye on them, people, because things change like that, especially in the investment industry. Things change like that, you know. We have tough times ahead. We don't know what's going to happen. Everything's going to change, Brexit, non-Brexit. So just constantly revisit where you are, revisit where you want to be when you retire. And if the two figures don't match, it's time for action. And it's time for action now, not action in 10 years. And then you've got your options on how you want to act on that. So have a great weekend, everyone. And hope you found this useful. And if you did, please, as usual, share it. Comments, whatever, you know, works for you. And I'd like to say goodbye. I can see some names here: Alina, Sam, Catherine, Laura, Judy. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.